Shane's on. Just tell her.
Oh, Shane, you there?
I am.
Okay.
Tell her hold on real quick.
Hold on just a minute. See you, Joe.
Okay.
You're listening to the Entrepreneurs Radio Network show on the Vets on Media Network.
I looked out this morning and the sun was gone. Turned on some music to start my day. And lost myself in a new song. I closed my eyes and I slipped away.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Brian Hazelgren. I'm here also with Shane Chance, and you are tuned in to the Entrepreneurs Radio Network show, where we discuss everything that you hopefully will need to learn about starting a business, launching a business, or even growing your business. So we're glad that you're here today. Shane is not in studio with us today. She's out on appointment, so we do have her with us in audio version, audio format. So Shane, you are there, right?
I am here. How are you?
Good. Good to have you with us.
Good. Can you hear me? Am I in a good spot?
I think we're okay. I can hear you great.
Awesome.
In fact, I guess I'm going to need to keep these headphones on too, since she's on there, right? All right. We'll keep the headphones on. Today, we have a pretty fun show teed up here for everyone, and it's a workshop that I designed a few years ago that we've given this workshop a lot, and it's gotten some great reviews from business owners, because what we're trying to do is peel back the onion a little bit further and help entrepreneurs understand that including ourselves, help all of us understand that there's a lot of things that we do every day. We wear a lot of hats, from sales to marketing to HR to accounting to even custodial work sometimes and cleaning up the office. But there's a lot of things that we not only do as small business owners, there's things that actually should be done every day that I want to try to hone in our focus a little bit. As Shane and I were discussing this, it seemed like a pretty relevant topic, pretty much industry wide. It doesn't matter what the industry is. It doesn't matter what company you have started or are planning on starting. These 7 principles that we want to talk about today are pretty universal and standard. So today's topic is 7 things you should do every day in your business to succeed. And we're also going to hopefully take our own advice on these 7 things as well. The last show, just to recap what we talked about last time, we were talking about common sense. And it was a chapter out of a book that I wrote called Everlasting Wisdom. It's actually the last of the 12 principles that are highlighted in the book. And when we're in business, we just need to exercise common sense in what we are doing. And we could add that to our list of 7 things to do today. So just know that the overarching umbrella in this discussion in today's show also reflects on last show's discussion topic, and that would be common sense. Today, however, as we move into 7 things you should do every day to succeed in business, one of the areas that we are always grateful for, that we can actually run a business and do it in a free country, pardon me, is due to our military personnel and our veterans who have served and continue to serve our country so bravely. We want to do a big shout out to them again, as we always do each show. Tell you all thank you, as well as your family members, and for your sacrifices. And we really appreciate the service that you render for us individually, for our businesses, and for our country. So again, thank you. 7 things you should do every day to succeed in business. You know, in this workshop, we talked about the simple definition of the word success. And if you look up Webster, or you look online, or wherever you're looking to see what the definition of success is, it's a simple 5-word sentence. Success means the achievement of something desired. Well, today we want to talk about those critical tasks that every entrepreneur should implement every day in their business in order to achieve that level of success or the achievement of something that you desire, as stated so eloquently by Webster and all the other, what do you call those folks that, besides the fact that they're really smart and they have IQs that are probably 200, what do you call them? What do you call them? Dictionary? What do you call those people? Dictatorians? I don't even know. Okay, whatever works. But those critical tasks, if we start breaking those down, I want to, Shane, you and I can cover some of these tasks together, like wearing too many hats every day. One of the other areas is that we should be able to learn how to start delegating. I know that we have a challenge with that as entrepreneurs. We usually feel like we can do it better than anyone else. And we take on too much sometimes.
Better, but one of the things we've talked about, Brian, is that it's hard when we start something that feels like ours to get out of the way. And sometimes we have a hard time letting go. And I think one of the important things that we need to know that sometimes there are people that can do what we do better than we can do it. And it's smart to surround ourselves with people who can do things better than we can do it and have them help build and grow our business. We know many companies who are very successful because the person who started that company surrounded themselves with people who did more or did better the things that they couldn't do as well.
Henry Ford has always been well known for his genius as he developed the production line and cranked out Ford motor cars back after the turn of the century. But what he also pointed out was that he hired people that were really smart in one particular area where all he had to do was press a button or call out their name and they could come and give him the updates on that particular area. He would be the master behind the putting the whole system together and basically being the leader that was the CEO that ran everything, but he always knew that there were other smarter people than him in certain areas. And so obviously the birth of the manufacturing production line through Henry Ford and through his brilliance is also, that's back to your point, is that we can hire folks, we can surround ourselves by or with others that are a lot smarter than we are in certain areas. So good point. And that's part of the delegation area where we can delegate tasks to the right people who can get things done. Another thing we want to focus on today is creating a habit of these 7 things that we're going to cover. And if you can create a habit, usually you can watch your business grow and flourish. Now, I want to define the word habit. And I know that we've all probably heard this before, but I definitely feel like it needs to be brought up again. Usually when you create a habit, it's something that you do consistently for 21 days. It takes some of us a little longer than 21 days to get that habit down. But by and large, 21 days to do a habit. So if you can look at these 7 habits, 7 things to do every day in your business, you are starting to create a habit that'll help you watch your business grow and even flourish. So let's jump into number 1. Number 1 essential habit, plan for the future every day. So let's assume, Shane, that you want to have more sales in your business. You want to create more customers and you want to sell more of your products and services. What direction do you take? What new income stream do you want to add? Those are the questions we should start asking ourselves every day is, are we actually planning for the future? What do you think about that?
Well, one of the things, I actually have what I call the 3 L's that kind of has to do with this. Because honestly, I think planning for the future has to do with our past, our present, and our future. And the 3 L's that I use are learning from the past, living in the present, but leveraging for the future. So that's kind of how I remember it. And I honestly think that planning for the future has to do with all 3 of those things. We do have to learn from the past, not only from our mistakes, but from the things that we did that were successful, so that we continue to use those things, like you said, habits. Obviously, we want them to be good habits that we're creating, not bad habits. But
Thank you for
learning from
clarifying
those
that.
learning from those things in the past, good and bad. We obviously have to live in the present, i.e. doing things every single day that make a difference for our future, which is now what we do each day helps us to leverage those things for what we want to accomplish in the future.
Very good. I love that. And one of the areas that is really important for learning from your past and living in the present, but also leveraging what you feel like the future should be and could be with your 3 L's. That's also one thing that we, I'm just going to throw it out there. You need to spend time daydreaming or brainstorming of what the future actually is going to look like for your company. That doesn't mean you necessarily need to take action right away, but you do need to think about innovative ways to reach your customers and increase your sales and increase your brand exposure. So that is one area that's kind of important, is doing some brainstorming every day. You can call it daydreaming, you can call it brainstorming, whatever you want. If it's brainstorming, you're usually putting a task down on paper or up on a whiteboard so that you can kind of map out where you want to head. But that is definitely helping you to plan for the future. And that's one essential habit you need to get into. We all need to get into every day, even while you're driving. Take some notes, talk into your phone, talk into a recorder. Let your mind run wild of what the future could look like for your own personal brainstorming, if you're by yourself at that particular moment, or obviously with your team. Tell your team what you're planning on, what you'd like to accomplish, how you'd like them to play a role in that particular future that you're brainstorming about. So you don't always need to take action right that very moment. However, you do need to plan for the future. So that's essential habit number 1. Anything else you want to add to that, Shane?
Yeah, not only including the others around you and letting them know what you want them to accomplish, but also inviting them to participate in that vision and bring to the table some of their ideas or some of their knowledge or skills or connections or whatever. Incorporate that idea of that entrepreneurship where you get those people actively involved so that they're emotionally attached to what you're doing and want to, be effectively involved in what's coming in the future. They become a part of that whole integral system.
Very good. Okay, let's move into essential habit number 2. We call this work on your marketing every day. I mean, it's simple to say that, but in some cases, we get too busy running the business and not actually marketing our business, or in other words, telling people about what you do or what we do. If people don't know about you, then they can't buy from you. So you need to work on your marketing, which will also lead into some other areas in just a moment, but work on getting the word out every day to your potential customer base. Work on telling other people about what your company does, why you do what you do, what makes your company and or your products and services unique. Why are they going to be buying products from you, services from you, if there's competition out there? But the entire point to the work on your marketing every day is really being able to let people know who you are, where you're driving them to, if it's driving them to a website to purchase something, if it's driving them to come to a workshop, if it's driving them to buy or download a CD that you may have put together. There's obviously there's all kinds of different things there, but one of the areas that in our home development we used to, we don't anymore, but we used to get things placed on our door pretty much every day from the landscaping companies. They'd walk around, they put a business card in your door, whether to do landscaping or to do tree trimming or whatever it may be. As simple as that sounds, it has been effective. It's not the greatest way to market your product or your service. It's a lot of work, but it is one way that entrepreneurs look at trying to get the word out of who they are and what they do. So essential habit number 2, is work on your marketing. Shane, is there anything else you want to add?
True. And it actually, I'm actually thinking back to a show that we did, several shows ago on knowing who your target market is. So in conjunction with that, marketing is great, but you want to know who you're marketing to. So if you weren't able to tune in on that one, you might want to go back and review that one, because that also focuses who you're marketing. You and I also carry business cards everywhere we go. I don't think there's ever been a time that we sat down in a meeting that we haven't exchanged business cards. Those are an inexpensive way to connect with people and to have them be able to connect back with you.
Yeah, by the way, Shane brings up an interesting point there on the business card. We, I don't know, a couple of years ago, after I wrote Everlasting Wisdom, I wanted to tell people about it just as I was, at networking meetings, as if I was speaking somewhere about a certain topic, or if we were just meeting someone for the first time and they would say, hey, I noticed online that you're a published author. What have you written? And I pull up this card. It's actually a business card that has a copy or a picture of the book, Everlasting Wisdom, has a little description off to the side. You flip the card over and it talks about what the chapters are all about on the back side of the card, and help them, show them where they can go purchase the book. That's just like you said, an inexpensive way to tell people about what your certain product is, where they can get it, but it's a great way to do some marketing just as you're talking to people. So just keep that in mind, folks, as you're doing something every day to grow your business. You obviously need to tell people who you are, because if they don't know who you are or where you are, they can't buy from you.
And Brian, that's a good way to do what we call a low pressure sale, because it allows people to take that card that you were talking about with Everlasting Wisdom on it, as a way to give people a little bit more information at their leisure, but they can follow up also at their leisure. And you didn't leave them empty-handed, but you didn't have to push a sale on them, or you didn't have to force them or whatever to listen to you. So I think that that's a nice low pressure way to get information out for people.
Well, it is. And it's a great way to even follow that up with a simple brochure. In some of our business ventures that we have, for example, our foundation for veterans, our GoVets Foundation, where we assist veterans in finding employment, starting a business, or helping them to get better products and services for their healthcare needs. We have a business card to hand to people, but we also give them a trifold brochure. Sometimes they may not remember what that conversation was about, but they can look back at a trifold brochure, and even on the back side of the card, which again reinforces what the foundation is all about and what it does. Again, it's getting back to the marketing issues of not only handing them the card, but giving them information that they can remember after your meeting is finished and referred back to. Yes. Anything else you want to cover there?
No, I agree 100%. Moving on.
Wow. Okay. she wants to get to the end of number 7, I guess.
No,
next.
I love this. I want to make sure we get through all these 7 habits, because they really are critical. That it's a system, and it's that repetition and consistency of an effective system that helps people be successful. And that's, we're handing them those tools. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
Good. Well, we're on essential habit number 3. We're going to pick this up again after break. And I want to just tee it up here to say that obviously, if by the way, essential habit number 3 is work on closing a sale every day. Obviously, if we're not selling something in our business and generating revenue, then without sales, there is no business. You don't have business. You won't be able to have a business that'll be there for you. So you got to create sales. We want to get that ready to go and teed up here as we go into break. But for now, we've talked about a few very important essential items in growing your business. When we come back from break, we'll talk about working on a sell working on closing a sale every day. For now, I'm Brian Hazelgren along with Shane Chance. You are listening to the Entrepreneur Network.
Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in their life. I'm no different. Hey everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce, I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures and how stressful they can be. Let Tom Capstrom Law Firm and his dedicated staff take the stress and worry out of a difficult situation by calling him today. We feel so strong about the work that Tom and his staff are doing that he'll be a monthly guest on the show. Tom is a veteran and a listener, for God's sake, so you know the guy is solid and will fight for you. Give Tom a call today by calling 417-864-0552. or email Tom at capstromlaw.com. And don't forget to tell him that Vets On sent you.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
If you or someone you know is looking for a new job or career, you need to visit the pros. National Career Fairs at ncfairs.com. National Career Fairs hosts over 300 career fairs a year nationwide. The events are free and give you the perfect chance to meet some of the top employers in your area face-to-face. To find the nearest career fair to you, visit ncfairs.com. Again, that's ncfairs.com. What are you waiting for?
Veterans served us, now it's time we serve them. As a veteran of Afghanistan and Iraq, as well as a current military member deployed abroad, I would like to take a minute of your time to tell you about Patriot Hills of New York. Patriot Hills of New York is a nonprofit organization providing support to veterans and their families. They partner veterans in need with over 65 health and wellness organizations, community groups, as well as philanthropic foundations providing no or low-cost services. They've helped over 400 veterans through confidential referral services, assistance with veterans issues, employment placement, as well as educational opportunities. If you need assistance or just want to help veterans by donating your time or services, contact them at info@patriothills.org. Again, that's info@patriothills.org. Visit patriothillsofnewyork.com for more information about their services or how you can donate. Our veterans deserve no less. We can give it to them, and you can help.
You're listening to the Entrepreneurs Radio Network show on the Vets On Media Network.
Welcome back, folks. You are listening to the Entrepreneurs Radio Network. I'm Brian Hazelgren along with Shane Chance, and we are covering the topic of what are we covering the topic of? I'm just kidding. Just want to make sure you're listening. Shane, you still there?
I'm
Okay.
still here.
All right. We're covering the topic of 7 essential habits you need to get into in order to find success in your business. And we are currently on habit number 3, working on closing a sale every day. Online, on the phone, through the mail, face-to-face, wherever it may be, you need to think about how you're going to be closing a sale that day. I remember a good friend of mine who was in the insurance industry, actually still is in the insurance industry, used to always say it was not a successful day for him if he didn't close a sale. Well, obviously for him, since he's on commission, he was right. He needed to close a sale every day in order to bring in income. Well, do we think that way as well as entrepreneurs? If you have a restaurant and you have no customers coming in that day, you be out of business before too long. And if you are not selling something online or you're not selling your services every day, sooner or later, the Pied Piper comes calling and wants to get paid, and you won't have any bills, money to cover your bills. So work on closing a sale every day is a mindset that sometimes, I don't know why, but sometimes we forget about. There's so many people that we have talked to over the years. And I can remember a lot of workshops that I've talked to people at one-on-one, and they said, well, I'm not a salesperson. Okay, that's fine. You need to learn how to be one, because selling is part of business. And marketing, like our last essential habit, leads into closing a sale. Without sales, you don't go anywhere. So you need to be out there every day in front of your customers. Again, like I said, online, on the phone, in person, through the mail, through email, one way or another, you need to be in front of them trying to close a sale every day in order to bring in revenue.
Well, Brian, too, keep in mind that people who say that they aren't salespeople, we actually have to sell ourselves every day, whether we're an entrepreneur or not. Even those that are out there that are working for entrepreneurs or in the world, they have to sell themselves every day. It's what helps them keep their job. It's what helps them get a job. It's what helps them, to be able to be successful in their job and with the people that they are working with within the company. So we are salespeople, whether we want to be or not, and how good of a salesperson we are, whether we're an entrepreneur or not, really depends a lot on maybe how successful we are within the company we work for.
Excellent point, which also leads into the next item, which I want to spend a little bit more time on than the first three. And that's what you're out doing today, and you're out networking. That's why you're not in studio. That's why you are out building your business, building relationships. And the next habit that we all need to be aware of is to develop our business network. Joining or creating a network, a business network. I belong to one. We belong to a couple of different networks that we're meeting with people, and a couple of these are every week. Wonderful people and friendships that we have developed over the last several years with individuals that go to these networking groups. We're able to pick up new customers. We're able to receive referrals. We're even able to help others grow their businesses. And it even creates mentoring opportunities for us in the type of work that we do. But as you're out, Shane, working on developing your network and reaching out to other people and not only going on appointments, but going to different networking events, how has that helped you grow your business and help you achieve more customers?
Well, I think that one of the things that comes to my mind most is a term that you and I have been kind of throwing around that we heard within the last week or so, called relationship capital. And the idea or the concept behind that is that that is part of the leverage. That is part of what helps our business grow in the future, is building and creating that relationship capital. That's what this networking does. That's what the one-on-one relationships are that we work to build with those people that we meet in meetings, in these network groups that you're talking about, or even just out on the street. I will be honest with you, I have struck up conversation with people in a line and actually walked out to my car and sold them a product from my car.
Good job.
So,
back to principle number 3, selling a product every day.
That's right. And so I just think that I love that term, relationship capital. It's really what it's about. Those are the long-term relationships that really benefit and that we create and grow and maintain over the years, that help our business not only grow itself, but to continue to thrive.
A great point too, and I want to give the accolades to Ron Gurley, our good friend and colleague out of Southlake, Texas. Ron is a great man, and he's got a bright mind, and he's got a lot of wisdom, and he shared that concept with us about relationship capital and how we all need to develop that, and not only develop it, but utilize it to not only grow our business, but to help other people. There are certain individuals or groups that we know of that may be a contact for someone, but they can be a relationship for us. And a relationship is different than a contact. I think we would all agree with that. We need to figure out how we build those relationships so that when we do need something, or when we would like to reach out to our group of individuals or other companies that we deal with, if we have a solid relationship, they'll take our call. They'll take that meeting. They'll answer your email. They'll return your text message. It's because of that relationship that you've spent time building, and that relationship capital, as Shane and Ron have both pointed out, are invaluable. There are times where people say, "Oh, well, yeah, that's great. I can get in the door with, I've got that contact." I don't need you. When you're trying to put a partnership together with a company or even an individual, sometimes people may feel like, well, I can just go around them and I can cut them out of the deal, or I can go directly to the source and they'll buy from me anyway, and then I don't have to pay someone else a commission or share any of the revenue. I would just say, stop right there. That's a stupid thought process, and realize that we can work together as a team, and we can also utilize our own relationships, not just our contacts, but our relationships to open doors, to sell products, sell our services, and continue building upon that relationship for as long as we want to, as long as that relationship stays solid, as long as we exercise integrity on both sides of the fence. And like from the last show, exercise common sense and stop being greedy.
You know what? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It kind of goes back to what you were saying a little bit earlier. If we want our business to grow, we need to be able to create relationships where we trust people enough to bring them into our circle and have them help our business grow. There are very, 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 very few businesses that you can grow it really, really well all by yourself. And honestly, you can't, because you still need those customers out there. You still need to whoever it is that's purchasing your product or your service. They still need to be a part of that. But honestly, most businesses need others in order to grow. They have to be able to, as you said with Mr. Ford, they need to be able to let go and trust and bring into that other people that can expand that business. If you are insistent on holding on to it all by yourself, you'll never get anywhere. I'm not fast, certainly not fast.
Well, even if
you'll never be able to be what you can be.
Even if you focus on maybe the one-man bands out there, the real estate professionals, the insurance people, the mortgage brokers, whoever it may be, where they're just even an attorney, when they're working usually on their own. Well, first of all, there's a couple of things to point out. One, you don't get to those customers without other relationships, like you just pointed out.
Right.
Two, you also have people behind you that help you provide that service in a timely manner and in a meaningful way. So there's other people around. So I guess that in developing your business network is to think outside your own box, think outside your own self, and realize that there are other networks of individuals who want to help you grow your business. I mean, we've run into that all the time where we're talking to people about, you know what, that's interesting what you do. I have these two individuals that I need to introduce you to, because they can help open some doors for you that you've been trying to open, but you haven't been able to. Maybe I can't open that door for you, but I do know of two other people who can. And I want to introduce you to them.
We're back to the dud who knows the studs, right?
That's right. Adam, can I just say she's probably never going to let that go. That's going to be a topic in every show.
But you can see how it really does make sense.
Yes, you're right. And I love the fact that Ron pointed that out. Not the duds and studs, but the relationship capital, and how eloquently he instructed us with his wisdom on how that relationship capital is so important and so powerful as we move our businesses forward and as we grow our businesses in a way that we probably can't do on our own. So essential habit number 4, develop your business network, which leads into essential habit number 5, reaching out to your customers. This is something that you need to do every day. Even if it's only one customer, reach out to your customer base every single day in some form or fashion, through email, through a phone call, through a text, even through the old version of the snail mail, and sending them a postcard, telling them thank you for their business. But there are those customers who have already purchased from you. That's why we call them customers. Think about the grocery stores that we go to either every Wednesday when it's the sale day or the coupon day, or if we just go there to pick up some chewing gum and a soda pop. I don't know, whatever you're going there to the grocery store for. Think about how they keep reaching out. there's different ways that grocery stores, because they're operating on such thin margins, they want you as a customer to keep coming through that door because you are their lifeline, and they want to reach out to you and they want to be in front of you. I noticed that here in the Phoenix market, there's several gas stations who've now partnered with a few different grocery store chains, that even when you're pumping your gas, it asks you on your screen, do you want to use your particular card that's associated back to that grocery store? Because the grocery store allows you to accumulate points as you check out, that you can use those points to get a discount on gasoline. Well, if you think about the reason why, obviously it's marketing. It's back to our point on marketing something every day, but it's also a way for that grocery store chain to reach out to you, their customer, even while you're at a gasoline station filling up your car. It's one more way that they're reaching out to you and that they're not forgetting about you. And you know what? Here's the thing about when you reach out to your current customer base. It's that old adage of back end sales. They may buy something from you up front, but the back end is where they're really going to be spending the money with you, because you develop trust, you develop that relationship, you develop that network, and they will spend more money with you as a small business owner if you've earned that right to have their trust, and they'll buy more from you. And so I guess the point here on essential habit number 5 is to reach out to your customers every day and contact them frequently. That pause was meant for you, Shane, to make a comment.
I know. I just thought I wanted to feel what that awkward silence was like.
I felt it. Thanks. Got it.
No, I think it comes back to the story that I just said. You don't know who a customer is going to be. I mean, when I was standing there in that line talking to that lady, it was just random. It was a random conversation, and it was, one of those moments where we just started chatting because it was a long line. And, I think that you don't want to scope out everybody as, attacking them with your sales and what you sell. But I think that we need to look at the possibility that people that we may not think about or suspect as customers could very well turn out to be some of our best ones. But again, I think it comes down to creating that relationship with them first, so that there's some level of trust, and then moving into that idea of turning them into a potential customer. And they're everywhere. So I think that we just need to come back to the marketing, making sure that you have your 30-second commercial, so that when someone does say, "So, what do you do for a living?" or what do you then you have something that you can share with them that hooks them and gets them interested, and you can lead them out to your car and sell them whatever you sell them for your car.
Okay, that formula works pretty good. Okay.
It did that day.
Well, so if we look back at the 5 topics we've covered, I guess we need to ask ourselves, how are we doing so far? Are we planning for the future every day? Are we working on our marketing? Are we working on closing a sale? Do we do a lot of networking each and every day with other individuals so that we keep putting our brand and our company out there, and even ourselves? And are we also reaching out to our customers? So I can say that pretty much every day I'm solid on those 5 areas in my business, in our businesses. It's this next one that is I'm still not very good at, but there's a way to get around this. And the way you get around this is by having someone else, even an intern, help you accomplish this particular essential habit or this task. And it's called posting on social media. I don't think I need to remind everybody that that's where everybody's driving now to, even on their mobile devices. Several shows ago, we talked about not being mobile friendly, but being mobile first. Well, if you think about mobile first, they're usually going to the social media sites to see what latest information is out there, whether it's whatever. I won't name all the different social media sites, but that's where people are driving. They want to know what's going on in the world outside of their own space, outside of their own city, their state, even their own country. But the point here on posting to social media that I'm not very good at. I don't post on social media every day, so I'm just coming clean here with everybody. But I am getting better. There's too many areas being pulled in different directions. It's hard to find the time to post on all these different platforms. Now, I will say that there is a way that, for example, when I post on Twitter, it also goes to my personal Facebook page. It goes to my LinkedIn page. It goes to our business page. When I post a blog, it does the same thing. So you write it once, and then it goes out to the other social media sites that are the top ones. So other than posting 42 different pictures every day on social media, how about maybe I lied. Maybe it's only 39 pictures every day. But instead of posting pictures every day, how about in business, we start looking at sharing your wisdom, sharing some of your knowledge, sharing some of your experiences, even becoming an online author by writing a blog. It's those particular areas on posting on social media that are critical in today's market as we go forward as entrepreneurs. We need to wrap our minds around the fact that somebody in our organization, whether it's us or someone else, needs to start posting on social media and creating dialogues. That would be the awkward silence, by the way. Now coming up, Shay. That means your turn.
I have to tell you, I'm going to go back to the picture thing, and I'm going to do it for a specific reason. Two specific reasons, actually. You will not believe this, and I'm not saying this to offend anybody. I'm just throwing it out there.
Wait. If you're going to, Adam, do you have your finger on the pause button or mute button in case she's going to offend someone? Just making sure you're ready.
No, I literally read an article this morning that says people who post selfies, 2 out of 3 have a mental disorder.
Okay.
And the reason I'm bringing that up takes me to my second thing. Believe it or not, people who are researching you will look at your social media.
Right.
They will go out there and see, who is this person? What are they posting? What are they saying about themselves, about others? What is it that's on their site that's valuable? What is it that... So I think it's really important that people be conscious of what it is that they're posting on any social media, back to whether it's personal or business, because it all comes up when you do a search on the internet. It all comes up. So you want to make sure that what's going out is professional and represents you in the way that you want it to represent you, because whether you're, an entrepreneur trying to build your business, or whether you work for a company or want to work for a particular company and get hired, they're going to research you, and you want to make sure that what you're putting out there, both professionally and personally, represents you the way you want it to represent you. So your point was a very good point. It's very valid. We need to make sure that what goes on our social media isn't just a bunch of selfies that we're posting, and that it actually is a representation of who you are.
And there is no excuse for saying, oh, I had one too many last night and I actually posted something I shouldn't have, because it's too late then, folks. When we're talking about posting on social media, it's positive business stuff, okay? That's what we're referring to here. All right.
Excellent.
All right. So anything else you want to cover on the posting on social media, except for the fact that I've already come clean and pointed out that I'm not as good as I should be on this area? Anything else you want to cover?
The funny thing is, I have to admit, I'm good in one area, but not the others. So I think I'm going to have to sit down with you afterwards and figure out how it is you're posting on all of yours at once, so I don't have to. But I'm sure that, again, I will admit I'm technologically illiterate. So in some ways, that's probably good.
Yeah, because this way it comes down to be technologically savvy, not illiterate. Okay.
And that's
hey, we'll get you there.
I'm learning.
We'll bring you up to our level. Don't worry about it, Shane. We'll get you there. All right.
Thank you again, working with people who can do things you can't do very well.
That's exactly right. That's why
it works for us all.
Works for all of us. Which now leads us into essential habit number 7. And this one is kind of near and dear to my heart, as I spent 7 years with a wonderful organization called Children's Miracle Network. And as the chief development officer, was able to have an amazing development team. We had the dream team, and we raised a lot of money. And we help companies realize that there's more to just bringing in money and selling products and services all the time. There's things that you can do in the community to do good. And so that's essential habit number 7. Not only from the 7 years that I spent at raising money for children's hospitals, but now with our current organization and raising funds, doing good things in our community for our veterans. That's essential habit number 7, is doing something good in your community. And honestly, I think we all need to take a step back and realize that there's a bigger picture out there to help other people, to stop just thinking about helping others and actually go do it, take action, and give back some way to a charitable cause that you're near and dear to. There are a lot of charities that need help. There are a lot of volunteers that go out to different events to help charities make a successful event and to help them raise more money. There are ways to give back into a charitable cause and doing good, whether it's stroking a check to help them with their funding needs, or volunteering your time, or having your company put together even a fun event in behalf of a particular charity and raise money. What it does is things like that pay back huge dividends for the companies. Why? Because they're looked at in the community as a company that actually cares more about the bottom line, and they care about the people in the community, and they care about the needs of the community. And we always like to say that when you do good in business, you need to do good outside of your business as well. So when business is good, take it outside and help other charities achieve their goals. Allow your people, if you're the entrepreneur and you have your employees, even some of your vendors that could donate their time, even some of your resources in your company, you donate that to a charity. Let people leave your place of employment for a couple of hours and go volunteer their time to a charity that your company has decided they want to back and they want to help. And don't ding your employees for leaving for a few hours. Let them have that time off. That's going to pay you back in such huge dividends that I can't really even put it into words, not only just in the community, but in building morale within your company.
You know, there was a nonprofit organization that I worked with, Brian, and one of the cool things that we did as part of an auction was they auctioned off labor. And by labor, I mean the companies agreed to pay their employees even while they were gone out in the community doing service. So what you're saying is huge, and I wish I had, I'm not able to go and grab a document right now while I'm out and about, but there is research that has been done that if people have a choice between a product or a company who gives back versus a company or a product that doesn't, people are very much into cause marketing, and if it's apples to apples, they will choose the one that gives back to an organization that helps, regardless of what that looks like. So it really is a great marketing strategy for your company to give back in some way to other organizations, that are out there that are trying to do good in the community as well. Nonprofit organizations are always looking for those who will provide service or donations in kind or financial input. They're always looking for something.
And one cool area to focus on here too is that when it comes down to people donating their time, when you're able to allow your employees to participate in a program or an event or a project that your company may have adopted the charity and its cause, what it also helps people understand that work for you is that they work for a company that they can feel good about, that they can feel proud about. And what happens at that point? Those individuals then become a silent sales force for your company. they're telling the charity and all the people that they're connected to, even throughout their board members, if you want to go that far, when they see their sponsors, see the sponsors that support what they do, they tell people about that particular company, about your company, because your people are helping build the brand of the charity along with your business. But it just keeps going out. Let me just say this: it's never a bad thing to do, to allow your people that work for you and yourself as the business owner to donate your time, donate even money for a worthy cause and a noble endeavor, because this will pay back huge dividends for a long period of time. I really want to hone in on the idea that when we're networking with other people about our foundation for veterans, our GoVets Foundation, people love to talk about what we're doing at the organization more so than they love to talk about even our for-profit businesses, because it's interesting that it is something that they can not only resonate to, they love talking about. And so here we have a silent sales force of a lot of people that are out there talking about our foundation and the good that we're doing, and how they particularly are also involved in helping us, in volunteering their time, in donating their resources, whatever it may be. So it really does pay back in huge dividends.
Well, it's a pay it forward concept. And oftentimes when people see you doing that, they will go out and do the same thing. It's like, you going into, a building and you hold the door for somebody else, and, they're excited about that. And so they go upstairs and they're feeling good. And, somebody needs help with a project. So they say, hey, let me help you with that. And that person's happy about that. And when they start driving home, they're letting somebody else in front of them without getting mad. It's just that pay it forward thing that is a silent mover and shaker in the community.
Absolutely. So in review then of what we've been talking about today in the top 7 things you should be doing every day to grow your business: plan for the future. Number 1, essential habit. Number 2, work on your marketing and telling people about who you are and what you do. Essential habit number 3, working on closing a sale every day. Essential habit number 4, build your business network, and remember the concept of relationship capital and how important that is. Number 5, essential habit, reaching out to your customers every day that have purchased from you and giving them some accolades and a little bit of love, and just telling them, hey, not only I'm reaching out to you to say hello and thank you, but also here's a coupon. Here's a discount that you can apply next time you visit our business or buy something from us. The 6th area of essential habits every day to do in growing your business is posting on social media. And then the last one that we have just been discussing is doing something good in your community, which also tees up one other area, no pun intended, that we are going to have a golf tournament for GoVets Foundation. I want to start putting the word out there now. It's not until May 29th, but it's in celebration of Memorial Day and Memorial Day week, if that's such a term, but it's at the end of the week, right after Memorial Day. It's a golf tournament we're doing here in the Phoenix market to start off with. It's called Adrenaline 18 shots of adrenaline. Literally, folks, if you're in the Phoenix area, or we've already had people sign up who don't even live in Phoenix, they're coming here specifically for this tournament that we're doing. This is so fun because every hole is a chance to get a hole in one, and it's on a beautiful course at Talking Stick Resort here in the Scottsdale market. But it's also where they only have 3 par 3s on this particular course, but we're taking the tee box and moving it out into the fairway. And it may be 135 to 200 yards where, again, you can still have an opportunity to get a hole in one. If you do get a hole in one, you could win a Corvette. You could win a new truck. You could win $10,000 in cash. You could even qualify for the $1 million shootout at the 19th hole at the end of the fun day that we're going to have on May 29th. All of the funds that we raise from this particular event and others that we will do are for GoVets Foundation that helps support the training and education scholarship program for our veterans and their family members. Go onto the site and check it out, govetsfoundation.org. You can sign up there if you want to. You can also become a sponsor. We do need sponsors to help us cover our costs, and it is pretty amazing. This is a one-of-a-kind event. It's something new that we're starting, but we're going to do these events in several cities across the country throughout the rest of the year. And I do need to thank my nephew, Jason Asplin, who is a golf pro, for coming up with this cool idea. And we've put a pretty cool business model wrapped around it. So Adrenaline 18 shots of adrenaline for and supporting GoVets Foundation on May 29th. You can learn more about it at govetsfoundation.org. Now, though, as we wrap up the show, it was a good topic today, Shane. I love the fact that we were not only able to get through all 7 essential habits, but hopefully we were able to share a few good things. Thank you for your wisdom and everything you've shared today. What final things would you like to end with here?
You know what? I was just thinking about it all, and it's really about balance. And I'm glad you kind of ended with that golf thing, because I think part of the balance of all of this is, doing something fun once in a while for you, or for, as we mentioned, for a good cause. Just kind of do a feel good thing every day if you can too. I think that helps with the balance of everything else that you're trying to do to keep your business going. It's just do those feel good things too that help keep you buoyed up. And I think that golf tournament sounds like it's a pretty awesome event. I'm excited about it, and I'm looking forward to being a part of that. So, yeah, thank you for, as always, a great topic and a great discussion, and for all that you do and bringing all this together. And thanks, Adam and Matt. I don't know if he's in the video today, but grateful for all that they do that helps us get our message out there. And I'm looking forward to another exciting week.
You bet. And good luck on your appointments and your networking today. Again, I'm Brian Hazelgren along with Shane Chance. You're listening to the Entrepreneurs Radio Network. I hope you make it a great day, and we're looking forward to the next show. See you next time.
Bye-bye.